7 seconds, apparently. We're 7 seconds away from the Legacy Kollection. The Virtual Fighter dev panel went on an extra 10 minutes.
To EVO 2025.
So hopefully,
before we head over to our guest,
we get a full 30.
We have a video to show you. Let's check it out.
A video? Don't tell me it's just Trilogy again. Is it new?
We knew pretty early on that the game was fun to play.
Turn my audio up.
We're excited about it.
All right, it's the OG trailer, which we've seen. I really hope we get something. I really hope we get something confirmed here. Like the one question I still have is this dropping digitally first on September 30th, or is it going to be dropping along with the physicals in December? I'm really hoping that gets clarified. My wallet is hoping for December, but my heart is hoping for September. Just because I'm probably going to buy every edition off of Atari to get those exclusive slipcovers. So it's going to kind of suck if I have to buy Mortal Kombat Legacy Kollection for a 5th time. Just to play it before the December physical release. But we'll see. We got Trilogy there right now at EVO, which is awesome. Obviously, if you're watching this, you probably watched my last video, but yeah, I'm probably going to stick to the slip covers, but nonetheless, trailer's about to end. We're live right here. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Hopefully the audio levels are good, and let's cross our fingers that maybe Tobias and Boon are here. I'm intrigued to see who's going to be on stage.
Hey, what's up, EVO?
Looks like Stephen Frost from Digital Eclipse. Okay.
Maybe at the Atari booth back there?
Shout Atari, man.
Anyways.
Here we go.
Didn't hear anything. I'm Ethan Stearns. I work at
I'm trying to step a little bit more.
Anyone out there have an Atari or play Atari? This guy right here, 2600 lover over here. I see him.
That was actually the first
Down
console I ever
front,
played was an
7800.
Atari. I remember playing Pong.
So I'm really excited to be here.
Then it was an
I've
NES.
watched EVO many years from home and never had an opportunity to be here, so it's kind of surreal to be sitting on the stage talking to everybody. I'm here with 2 amazing men from Digital Eclipse. Amazing, I would say, from Digital Eclipse. I'll have you guys introduce yourselves.
Hi, everybody. My name is Stephen Frost. I am the head of production at Digital
Shout out to
Eclipse,
Steven,
which is just
man.
a fancy way of saying I have my fingers in all of our products.
Hey, look at the pins!
And, you know, just trying to make the best
pins.
products possible. I've been at Digital Eclipse for now, I think, 9 years. And before then, I was at Sega working on a certain Hedgehog game for a while, amongst other things. So, but excited today to talk to a little bit more about our wonderful Mortal Kombat Legacy Kollection.
And I'm Dan Amrich. I am also at Digital Eclipse, so I've only been there for about 3 years. But, you know, I think the only thing relevant about what matters to this room was anybody that ever read GamePro magazine. I was the guy that sent in the explanation of the dullard code for Mortal Kombat that got printed. So that's my fighting game claim to fame.
That's a good claim
I'm
to fame.
terrible at the game, but I'm good at putting in the dullard code.
That's pretty funny.
Written into history right there, literally.
That is true.
All right, before we get into the panel, we have one more trailer we want to play that premieres a couple things that we're announcing today.
We knew pretty early on that the game was fun to play.
It became something that added to the mystique of Mortal Kombat.
Okay, so it is just the Trilogy one. Okay, sweet. I think this was the trailer from earlier. It should only be 30 seconds. Okay, bet. Okay, sweet. Sweet. New information, come on.
Woo!
MK Trilogy!
Yeah!
Let's go!
You wanted it, you got it.
All right, so my question here for you now, Frosty, is what are we here doing at EVO? Of course, the trailer just kind of gave that away, but what are the 2 things that we're here for today?
There's a couple things. Obviously, the biggest announcement, one of our secret games that we've been holding back is Mortal Kombat Trilogy. We're excited to include that title in this collection. It's obviously
I got a
fan
little bit of
favorite.
tears in my eyes.
We
I'm
love
not
it
lying.
internally at Digital Eclipse, and it's exciting for us to be able to not only include it, but also try to fix a few things, improve a few things on it as well for fans.
Whoa!
The other big announcement, of course, that you saw at the end of that teaser trailer is the physical release of the product. So we are releasing physical. There's a couple different variations of it too. There's a deluxe version, and there's a collector's edition. And I'm especially excited about the collector's edition because it comes with a Goro
Big Daddy
holder,
Goro.
which Goro fans out there, I know there's a few Goro fans out there. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see, obviously, the items and the things come together for the
slip
physical
covers,
collection.
man, that's what
and
I'm getting.
hopefully we've included a lot of stuff that fans will really appreciate and dig.
Yeah, it's exciting. The deluxe edition, we've got a lot of little trinkets in there, some like original arcade flyers from the game. Marquees, some really cool stuff. If anyone's interested, they can go to Atari.com. I'm sure it'll be on our front page. We also have some like day one pre-order incentives where you get custom like sleeves for it if you're a big MK collector like we are up on stage.
If you love Reptile or Scorpion or Sub-Zero, we have specific
looks fucking
slip
sick
cases that you can buy for those games.
So I think it's interesting being here at EVO. We live oftentimes in the retro communities, both Digital Eclipse and Atari. So maybe not a lot of people know about Digital Eclipse and the work that you guys do. Can you talk a little bit about why Digital Eclipse should be making this game? What's special about your approach to this?
Sure. There's a lot of reasons, but I think the main thing for those who don't know about Digital Eclipse, we're a studio. We're currently housed in Emeryville, California, just a shy shot away from Pixar. And the studio was originally founded way back in 1992, eons ago. And our claim to fame was we were some of the first folks to do retail emulation, so actually emulation for arcade games.
Pretty dope.
In a retail setting. And that was before
I didn't know that.
really emulation was even a thing.
They're the
internet
pros.
was barely a thing.
Yeah, they're
back
the
at that
OGs of
point.
this shit.
And since
cool.
then, we have continued to build upon our emulation chops, but really also transition into hopefully leading the way in relation to game preservation. It's a big thing
Yes.
from our studio and just our individuals who work there in its entirety. The industry has lost a lot of games and IPs over the years because there wasn't necessarily a lot of forward thinking as far as preservation.
They
and
picked the
saving
right
content
people.
and materials. Fortunately,
Thank God.
with our efforts and also partnering with a lot of these bigger companies, people are starting to think more about preserving those design documents and concepts and things like that. As we've continued to evolve, we've really started to not only focus on making sure that the emulations that we create for these games and platforms is as accurate as possible so that fans can play older titles on modern platforms.
Yep.
But it's also to provide more of a historical context for these games, why you should care about it. Because, throwing a bunch of games onto a disc and giving it to someone with no context, it's fine if you're a fan of those games, but if you aren't a fan or you're a casual fan, there's nothing to guide you, right? There's no reason for you to understand what you should play and why you should play it and why you should
Nailed
care.
it.
And a lot of these games
Good mentality to have,
really were the things that started this industry or started genres and things like that. And it's important for even current generations to really understand where things came from. So we really focus now, especially coming from an editorial background. A lot of us came from an editorial background. Dan did, I did, a lot of the folks. So we approach our collections from an editorial perspective in that, what is the story that we're trying to tell here? What are we trying to show people and explain to people? And then when we come up with that, that's how we utilize all the assets, such as the games, the art, development materials, in order to portray that story. And so it's important for us to, even if you're a hardcore fan or a casual fan of the IP, in this case Mortal Kombat, that you go into this product and you leave with a much better understanding and appreciation for what it took to create this IP and why it's great and why you should care.
Oh man, this is
I don't know if
awesome.
you have anything else you want to
This is awesome.
No,
They
I mean,
nailed
that's-
it, man.
That is very much the core of it. Is there is a story to be told about the history
This
of Mortal
guy's mic's a
Kombat
bit low.
and its evolution. And early on, we kind of realized that one of the things that makes Mortal Kombat so special is that people saw video games differently after Mortal Kombat came out. Like, video games were just toys, right? Like you got
fixed
them in
his
Toys R Us. And then here comes this thing that challenges everybody's perceptions of what a game can be. And society at large had to step back and go, wait, what is this? How do we deal with this? And that opened up a lot of doors for the next 30 years. So that's intrinsic to the story that we're telling. We are telling that story with an interactive documentary. We have exclusive interviews. We have some amazing historical like photos and documents and things like that to share.
So
similar to
hyped,
projects that we've done in the
bro.
past, but I've been really, really excited to
man.
go over and find some of these things. I know this exists, and then somebody will go like, oh, I have it in my closet, and they send it to us or they scan it for us. So
That's sick.
It's really, hopefully, obviously the games are the biggest draw, but I'm really hoping that people are going to enjoy, when they want to break from the games, digging in and finding
Try
out some
not
of
to
the
cry.
truly
Tears
amazing
of joy for
stories
being
of how these
relieved that
games
it's
came
in
to be.
good hands.
So speaking
God,
of the
I'm so
games,
happy.
we talked a little bit about Trilogy. Can you elaborate any more, Dan, on like why Trilogy and why it's special?
Yeah, sure. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Mortal Kombat Trilogy was sort of the kitchen sink version of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. It was developed at the end of the 2D cycle of Mortal
That's funny.
Kombat. So 3 and Ultimate had come out, and the idea was hatched, let's just put every single character that's ever
All the
been in
bosses.
any game in Mortal Kombat in one penultimate version, right? Like the ultimate version, not the penultimate version. But and so because it was a home game only, a lot of people spent hundreds of hours with it. This is their Mortal Kombat. It's a very strong emotional bond to the game that you have played that much, right? And I come from the arcade, so I step up to any Mortal Kombat game, I need a fight stick or else I'm useless. I'm still kind of useless, but I need a fight stick to blame it on anyway. And Trilogy, as soon as we announced Legacy Kollection, that was the number one thing that we saw. Like, oh, you're
Yep.
going to include Trilogy, right? You got to include Trilogy. It was evident from the beginning that this was critical for people because that was the game,
listen.
that was my Mortal Kombat game. Everybody has one, but a lot of people bonded with Mortal Kombat over Mortal Kombat Trilogy. So knowing that there's an emotional bond there, we faced a technical challenge, which was we've never emulated PlayStation before. This is the first time
There
in a
you go,
Digital Eclipse
confirmation,
product that we're going to be
confirmation.
able to emulate a PlayStation version. And in looking at the code, there were things that could be optimized. There's load times. Obviously, some of that is inherent to the game. But
Shang Tsung's morphs.
Shang Tsung's morphs
Yes.
is the perfect example of
Yes.
this. In the original PlayStation version, you would morph and it would like pause the game while it loads that character from the disc. We don't have to sit through that anymore. So our version is
Beautiful.
actually better than you
Faster
remember.
in
Shang Tsung
general.
morphs work
Wow.
the way that you would expect them to, or the way that you remembered that they were, that they actually
Trying
weren't,
not
but
to
you
cry.
believe that they should have been.
Trying
So
not to
we're
cry.
really looking forward to people playing Trilogy, especially knowing they have that bond with it. It literally is better than you remember it to be because we've been able to improve some of the things that have gone unchecked for 30 years.
And we have it playable at the Atari booth here if you're here at EVO on the floor. So come by. We have it on Switch 2 as well as a PC build. We're going to have some creators coming by the booth today and tomorrow. If you want to challenge a creator, see if you can show your skill at the game. So we'll have that at the booth if anyone's interested in playing.
Oh man.
I had another question for you, Dan.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
we kind of talked about this
I'm
a
so
little
happy
bit
that they're
about
actually improving
the
it.
additional content that goes onto these collections that Digital Eclipse produces.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about like what is your process for that, and then
Come on, give us the
like,
juicy
what can we expect
reveal.
on in the Legacy Collection?
Sure, I can talk a little bit about this because we're not quite ready to reveal too much about this. But when we start a project,
Oh, that's exciting.
our editorial director Chris Kohler, he helps me build the story. That's what my actual job is, content editor, right? So I've helped write and gather a lot of the research on this project. And I go way back with the franchise to when I was in the press in the 90s. So this is actually very special for me. But we look at what materials do we have? What's the story that we want to tell? We identify that early. And then it's an awful lot of research, calling old developers. What do you have in your garage? There was an
sounds like
earlier
one hell
project
of a
where
gig. I wish this was my
offhandedly
life.
asked an Atari developer for Atari 50. You
it
don't
sounds
have
so
any of
fun.
this stuff. Do you? He goes, yeah, I have a box in my garage. He literally produced 50 documents of hand-drawn stuff for a vector game that nobody had ever seen.
Just going to
so
pick
there's
that
a lot
up
of
in my
detective
car.
work. There's a lot of calling. There's
Bring
a
it
lot
back
of
to the
like,
studio.
do you happen to still
So
have any
cool.
old photos? Thankfully, NetherRealm had some archives. So, and then they were able to point us to other people that had personal archives. So a lot of what we do is research-based, and very, very fact-checking. We really
Thorough.
do sweat the details.
Thorough,
We're not
guys.
just ripping images off of the internet and saying, we found this thing, you know. So, you know, hopefully you will see some of that effort in what we wind up doing. But yeah, it's a very lengthy process. We've been working on the documentary part for at least 7 months now, like hardcore going. We got to go to Chicago. NetherRealm was very nice, opened their doors. We got to speak to the original dev team. We got to speak to additional people like Eugene Jarvis and Roger Sharp, and you're going to see interviews with them as well as other people that are notables in the Mortal Kombat community who really helped shine a light on what makes this franchise so special.
Yeah, it's been a great pleasure to work with NetherRealm, and thanks to them being interviewed. I think we interviewed almost 25 different people. We have almost 3 hours of new documentary footage videos. It's the most that we've ever included in any of our past collections.
Oh my God.
So, you know, regardless
3
of
hours.
your level of Mortal Kombat fandom, there's going to be immense amount of content and behind the scenes stuff to go through and interviews to watch for sure.
Cool. So, just
We got like
to
5 minutes
recap,
left.
We have Trilogy playable at our booth. Mortal Kombat Legacy Kollection will be coming out later this year. Physical got announced today, so you can pre-order today all those physical editions that we talked about.
December.
The collection consists of MK1, 2, 3, Ultimate 3, 4. There are some additionals that we've announced. And in addition to the arcade versions of those games, we also have a lot of the home console versions, some handheld versions if you want to play MK1 Game Boy Edition, that will be on the collection. So it is a huge collection of Mortal Kombat games, in addition to all the documentary material that Dan spoke about. And it will be coming out later this year.
Yep.
Damn.
And lastly,
release date
obviously,
confirmation.
we're adding a lot of quality of life improvements to these games for all of you fans. Access to the dip switch settings, access to all of the hidden menus and secrets that would normally you'd have to type in a code, dullard or whatever. You can still do that, but we don't want a situation where fans, especially casual ones, have to say, oh, what's this deal with Reptile in Mortal Kombat? How do I play Reptile? You can learn how to play them in the collection, but then you can also just go into the options of Mortal Kombat and flip a switch that says, I want to play against Reptile, and then you'll jump into a Reptile. It's basically no more secrets. We want this game and this collection to have all the features and accessibility for fans of all types. And so that when you finish and you go through this collection, you really have a deeper and full understanding of all of these games, and obviously the early years of Mortal Kombat.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me up
Well,
here. Thank you, guys, at EVO.
We got some new information.
We're really excited to bring this game to you.
I feel like that was Johnny Tobias in the front row right there. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. I thought it was. I was like, that's funny.
Thanks, everyone.
Damn, I was really hoping that they would have given us confirmation on that, Xbox September 30th leak. Them saying later this year makes me think that it could wind up being December, which, again, saves me money buying it digitally because I'm already going to buy this game on every fucking console known to man. So, 3 hours of interviews is fucking nuts. That is fucking nuts. Anyways, guys, there you go. That's the full panel. 17 minutes. Unfortunately, the last one probably cut us, a little bit short. No Tobias, no Boon talking, which is kind of depressing. Not gonna lie, but yo, shout out to Stephen Frost and the guys over at Digital Eclipse. This is in good hands. These are the guys to really, I think, do it the right way. They're the OGs. They are the trailblazers when it came to emulating all these classics and, reproducing them and re-releasing them. So I'm excited. I'm more excited now than I was before this panel. Yeah, man. Here you go. What do y'all think of this? What are you buying? I sound like the guy from Resident Evil 4. I love y'all. Until next time, see you later. If you want to see the full rundown of all the editions, I uploaded that earlier today. Go watch it. Peace!